At the University of Colorado, our fiscal year ends at midnight on June 30. Accruals occur in July so that expenses incurred in the previous year but not yet posted are recorded in the proper period. Let's look at an example to see how this works. Meet John. On June 24, John places an order for copy paper in CU Marketplace. The order is delivered on June 28. The invoice is received and entered on July 3rd, and payment is made on July 5th. When was the expense incurred? It was incurred in June when the order was received. When was the expense posted? It was posted in July when the invoice was entered. In the middle of these two events, on June 30, is fiscal year end. Journal entries are recorded into the general ledger to account for this purchase. The general ledger is our system of record, also known as the PeopleSoft Finance System. The first journal entry is when the invoice is received. So, the journal entry on July 3rd is a debit to the supplies expense account and a credit to the accounts payable account in the amount of the invoice. The next transaction to be recorded in the general ledger, or GL, is the payment on July 5th. This journal entry is a debit to the accounts payable account and a credit to the cash account. But this expense was incurred in June. This expense needs to be accrued, so it is recorded in the period in which it was incurred. This accrual journal entry is dated the last day of the period, in this case June 30, and is a debit to the supplies expense account and a credit to the accounts payable account. The Office of University Controller creates accruals of CU Marketplace purchases for you. But now we have this expense in both periods. That's not right. That's why the accrual entry needs to be reversed. The key is that the reversal entry is dated July 1 and is the exact opposite of the original accrual entry, a debit to accounts payable and a credit to supplies expense. The Office of University Controller also reverses accruals for you. There are a lot of entries that happened in July. Let's cross out July's offsetting line items. Here's a debit and credit to the supplies expense account for the same amounts. And here's a debit and credit to the accounts payable account for the same amounts. Now we are left with the payment in July and the expense recorded in June. So, reversing the accrual didn't reverse the expense in June. In actuality, it reversed the recording of the expense in July that was entered when the expense was paid. How do the accrual and reverse accrual entries look on your financial reports? When looking at the MFIN Financial Detail Report, the initial accrual journal entries begin with the letters A, C, C and are dated June 30, even though they are run in July. Reverse accrual journal entries begin with the letters A, C, X and are dated July 1. That concludes our video example of the FYE accrual process. Additional resources for this topic are available by clicking the link on your screen. Thanks for watching!